If you believe in self-made billionaires, I have a bridge in Dubai made entirely of unpaid interns to sell you. It's slippery with blood, sure, but the PR team says it's ambitious. Welcome back, comrades, haters, broke students, overworked baristas, and trust fund babies who think this is satire. I am the ever-melancholy J.G. Perkins, and you are listening to Cancel Capitalism, the only podcast that will say, without irony, that the guillotine was a perfectly reasonable piece of infrastructure. And still is, but in Minecraft, of course. So today, we are going to be dismantling the myth of the self-made billionaire. You know the one, the garage to inventor to billionaire pipeline, you know? The sweaty hustle bro mythos, the LinkedIn posts about waking up at 4 a.m. and eating gravel without milk to be successful. The without milk part is important. That's what they don't tell you in the little books that they shill. It's got to be gravel without milk specifically. If you eat milk, you are, you're something else. Anyway, we're going to be going full scorched earth on this. No mercy, no nuance, no, on the other hand, my ass, all right? You know, even if they were rags to riches, they're still class traders, you know? So, if you're the type who thinks Jeff Bezos earned his wealth by working harder than a Congo cobalt miner, then buckle up. Today, we're going to be learning what actual work looks like. And it doesn't involve yacht shopping on a Tuesday afternoon. So here's how this is going to be going down. First, we are going to tear open the stories of these billionaires, you know, a little bit of the abridged life of these men. Spoiler, they read like Marvel villains with a PR team. Did the Marvel villains have PR teams? I'm pretty sure there might have been. I don't watch Marvel movies, but at this point there probably was a Marvel villain with a PR team. And that would be incredibly prescient if that was the case. But so we're going to be tearing open their stories. And then we're going to show how the state and not the quote-unquote market made them rich. Next is how the workers were robbed in this process. And then we're going to be looking at colonial loot and media mythology, yada, yada, yada. So welcome to the blood sport, guys. And let's go. Let's get into this. So pull yourself up by your bootstraps was originally a joke, right? Like, literally, it was a sarcastic comment about doing the impossible. Try lifting yourself up off the ground by yanking your shoes. You cannot do that. That's, kind of the point. But capitalism took the joke and said, yeah, we're going to build our entire ideology on that. So let's look at the quote-unquote self-made class. Or cases, sorry, not class, that they push on you like ketamine at a tech conference. Speaking of ketamine, we're going to be talking about Elon Musk, giving a little bit of an abridged background on him first. So Elon Musk is the pretend poor boy from the apartheid mines. Boo, hoo, hoo. And, they tell you that he started with nothing, but nothing apparently includes an emerald mine in apartheid-era South Africa. Yep, Daddy Errol Musk literally said they had so much money that they couldn't close their safe. Emeralds fell out of his pocket when he walked, the whole thing. He was like a savior walking through there, like the emeralds falling out and people just jumping out and grabbing them, probably fighting over them. So Elon likes to pretend like he lived off of ramen and Red Bull, but his first venture was bankrolled by that apartheid money and structured in a Silicon Valley that was already gentrified beyond recognition at that point. His story isn't really like Horatio Alger. It's more like Blood Diamonds meets Reddit. So moving on to Mr. Jeffrey Bezos. He didn't really bootstrap himself up. He kind of step-laddered off of a trust fund because he got $300,000 from his parents to start Amazon. And that's no small loan. That's a bunch of rent in a in like a West Coast California city. That's no small deal. So you'd think he would at least thank his parents for this by giving workers and regular people, working Joes, union rights, right? But no, he regularly breaks unions and doesn't really care about his workers. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard the horror stories about working for Amazon, not being able to take breaks, or the bathroom being so far of a walk that there's really no point. It's not a fun place to work. So he's obviously not for the regular people that he claims to have come from, or that people claims that he came from. He spent all of that money turning that online bookstore that he ran with his wife into a digital sweatshop empire. And those early Amazon years, they weren't about innovation. They were about burning through capital until they reached their dominance, then crushing all the competition with subsidized pricing. It's not genius, it's monopoly and patience. The kind of thing that we spent years getting out of, we're kind of falling back into it type thing, blah, 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 shut up, commie type stuff, So next we're going to be talking about someone that, I don't really hear people talk about much. Bill Gates went to a private school with early computer access when most kids were still playing with sticks. Out in the yard, digging in dirt, capturing lizards, burning ants with magnifying glasses. His mother had connections to IBM executives. He, quote unquote, dropped out of Harvard with more social capital than 99% of the people who graduate. And the myth that Gates was hacked, that Gates hacked his way into billions it's really cute. But let's be real. He cornered a market and licensed his way into a monopoly with daddy's Rolodex and mommy's IBM favors. So you guys see the pattern here? These aren't genius outliers. They're rich kids with access, connections, and PR. Quote unquote self-made billionaire is the fairy tale you tell your kids when the power bill is overdue and you want them to keep believing the grind will save them one day. Something about the coward calls his chains peace and offers them to their children or his children or whatever you want to say. So next we're going to be talking about how capitalism sucks at innovation actually, and the government is the real MVP. So let's start with a bombshell. Capitalism isn't innovative, the state is. That's right. Your iPhone features, your precious Google Maps, all of it is government funded at the core. Mariana Mazzucato, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, an economist and a certified capitalist slayer, broke this wide open in her book, The Entrepreneurial State. According to her research, every major tech breakthrough since the 1970s came from public funding and not venture capital, not bootstrapping, and not some kid coding in his mom's garage. The GPS question mark, Pentagon. The touchscreens, the U.S. Navy. Voice assistants like Siri, funded by DARPA. The internet, originally a government military project. And the most delicious irony about this, the tech bros who scream about government overreach are literally surfing a wave built by state socialism. Just without the socialism for us. I'm a self-made founder. No, Kyle, you're a leech on 70 years of taxpayer-funded research, and your app sells vape pens to teenagers using a stolen postal logistics model. So next, we will be looking at Mr. Jeffrey Bezos' company, Amazon Web Services. Now let's talk about Amazon. Not the part that sells you paper towels at 2 a.m. I mean the real Amazon Web Services. In 2013, AWS got a $600 million contract with the CIA to build a private cloud infrastructure. This isn't bootstrap capitalism. This is public-private techno-feudalism. You pay taxes, and those taxes go to the CIA, and then the CIA gives that money to Amazon, and then Amazon uses it to crush small businesses with precision, drone-like efficiency. But they earned it. Cool story. Say that to your mail carrier, because they probably did more to deserve a $600 million bonus than Jeffrey Bezos ever did. Metaphor time. Alright, imagine a casino where billionaires bet with your retirement fund. If they win, they keep it. If they lose, the bouncer picks your pocket and hands it to them. That's capitalism. It's not even a rigged game. It's not a game at all. You're invited to. You're the carpet. You're the AC unit. You're the free drink that makes the gambler feel special because he came into the casino. You see what I mean? You've been listening to Cancel Capitalism, the only podcast where we stand dialectics, cancel landlords, and resurrect Lenin in a hoodie. I am J.G. Perkins. You just listened to part 1 of my destruction of the self-made billionaire. Tune in next week for part 2. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe because that really helps with engagement. See you, comrades, later. Thanks for sticking around till the end. For more Cancel Capitalism, like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe, comrades.
Point of view. What is the point of me? I can't even see all of the things we mean when we say I do. You walked out the door. I don't want no more. No. I can't even let it show all of the things we mean when we